Well, good afternoon. It's 12 noon. You continue to be with us here at CNN News 18. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar. Straight to the big political story that we're tracking this afternoon. Amidst indications of a political upheaval, speculations are rife that it's endgame for BJP-JDU alliance in Bihar. Top JDU sources are now telling CNN News 18 that Nitish Kumar is ready to part ways. Now, according to sources, the JDU chief and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar dialed Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi yesterday. Remember, this is the same day that the Niti Aayog meeting took place in the national capital, which he had skipped. And now he is reportedly asked for some time to meet with Sonia Gandhi as well. In the backdrop, JDU has called a key meeting of all its MLAs, MLCs and MPs in Patna, which will take place at about 11 a.m. tomorrow. And the Bihar Congress has also asked all of its MLAs and even MLCs to remain present in Patna. Now, eyes are on what's going to take place in the next 24 to 48 hours in Bihar. So what really is playing out in Bihar? What are the math and the calculation that is currently on? And why are we really seeing this revolt as far as Nitish Kumar is concerned? Let's first break down all those details. Now, first is Nitish Kumar, and this is what we're picking up by the means of sources and others. He's convinced that BJP plus LJP was behind the JDU's poor show in 2020. This is when the JDU had got just about 43. The second big factor is upset that the BJP dominated the cabinet formulation because they put two deputy chief ministers, so they played the role as far as the big brother is concerned. The third big reason is sees RCP Singh as part of BJP's conspiracy to uproot JDU. Now, this will actually become very interesting. Will RCP Singh have enough flow? Can he actually sway people as far as JDU is concerned? Or will Nitish Kumar actually have an iron hold to ensure that the flock is together? Point number 4. Nitish Kumar at this point also feels that he hasn't gotten enough support despite the double-engine government. And as we pointed out, there were many signs. He had skipped a lot of key meetings that had taken place, like the farewell of President Ramnath Kovind, even the welcoming of President Draupadi Murmu, and then that very crucial meeting as far as the Niti Aayog was concerned. Other big reason is believes that Bihar is being projected as a terror haven by multiple NIA raids that we are seeing. Before I bring in my colleagues, here's a political editor, Maresh Akil, decoding of what really is taking place in Bihar.
What was so far under the surface, the tension that was there between Nitish Kumar and the ally BJP, which was under the surface for the last few years, has now emerged on the surface. When did it happen? Yesterday, when there was a crucial Niti Aayog Governing Council meeting, which was happening in the national capital, being attended by chief ministers of all states except KCR, who had chosen not to attend, boycotted for a different reason. Another chief minister who was missing was an alliance partner of the BJP, a member of the NDA, Nitish Kumar. At the same time, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was addressing the Niti Aayog Governing Council meeting, was attending handloom event of Bihar government in Patna. What has happened is that in the last few weeks and months, tension has been there, palpable between BJP and Nitish Kumar. First was, of course, Nitish Kumar constantly feeling that he is not the big brother in this alliance of the BJP-JDU because of his numerical strength being down. He's party number 3 in Bihar Assembly, and BJP is the big brother. From the government formation in 2020, Nitish Kumar did not have an upper hand. The BJP got 2 berths as deputy chief ministers. Nitish Kumar clearly understood that there is some kind of a larger conspiracy. Remember, Chirag of LJP throughout the election campaign of 2020 kept saying that he is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hanuman. Nitish felt that this Hanuman was actually responsible for bringing down his numbers because LJP had fielded candidates only on those seats which were being contested. Things became worse when the so-called double-engine Sarkar was not really given that support by the centre. That is what sources in the JDU are saying. What has happened in the last 1 week is that RCP Singh, who was the former JDU president, in fact, first he was not given an extension in the Rajya Sabha by Nitish Kumar, and then RCP Singh came out in public domain criticizing Nitish Kumar. The sense in Nitish camp is that was RCP being projected as some kind of Operation Lotus? Could he have been responsible in perhaps breaking the JDU? There is a conspiracy that is being sensed by Nitish Kumar's group, which is essentially the JDU. Another sense is that Nitish Kumar's governance model, which is law and order in Bihar, was challenged with all the NIA raids that happened in the name of PFI links to terror. Nitish saw that as questioning his governance model, which he had been carefully crafting for all these years, and Bihar being projected as a terror safe haven. In the last few weeks, Nitish had skipped a number of meetings, which was called by the center. Most recent was the swearing-in ceremony of the president, that is Draupadi Murmu.
एक मॉडल इस्तेमाल किया गया था 2020 के विधानसभा के चुनाव में, चिराग मॉडल, और दूसरा चिराग मॉडल तैयार किया जा रहा था। लेकिन कभी अगर होगा आगे तब बताएंगे कि षड्यंत्र कहां-कहां हुआ और कैसे-कैसे हुआ। लेकिन आज ऐसे लोग भी बोल रहे हैं, अरे भाई कोई भी आदमी षड्यंत्र क्यों करते हो नीतीश कुमार जी को छोटा करने के लिए? अब ये सब तो हमने कहा ना कि षड्यंत्र कब हुआ, कैसे हुआ, कहां-कहां हुआ, ये सब कुछ प्रमाण है। ये समय आने पर वह भी बताएंगे, थोड़ा अभी इंतजार करिए।
JDU has called all its MLAs, MPs for a meeting tomorrow, and we have come to know that Nitish Kumar has called up Sonia Gandhi.
That too at a time when the parliament is in session, parliament is running, and in between the session all the MPs have been called, so definitely he's cooking something big, definitely something big is there in his mind. What is the Chirag model? That needs to be clarified, na? Bhaiya, all I know is that I am Ramvilas Paswanji's model. I am working on a model that was created by him, that was Bihar first, Bihari first. So when he says that someone created Chirag model, so I want to know that who created Chirag model? Who's the brain behind that, who created Chirag model 1 and the same person is trying to create Chirag model 2. Having said, I think you should stop using my name to target Bharatiya Janata Party. You should come out and open and target Bharatiya Janata Party and say that they are the one, that the people of Bihar voted for me. Even Upendra Kushwaha ji was the part of Chirag model only, na? In 2020 Vidhan Sabha election. He was also contesting against Mukhyamantri Nitish Kumar ji. Though that is a different thing, that he couldn't even register his mark there. And he failed miserably in those elections. Having said that, today Bharatiya Janata Party and Janata Dal United, they needs to clear out their own issues between them and stop using my name or using me as a model. Bhaiya, if you have any issue with the current Prime Minister of our country, Adaniya Narendra Modi ji, sort it out with him. But don't let the people of Bihar suffer because of that. They don't have an option than supporting it. Eventually, they're looking forward to an alliance with that party. So they have to support Mahagathbandhan's march that they did yesterday. But when they support this march, whom are they against? They are against Narendra Modi ji then. They are against the Bharatiya Janata Party's central government. They had so many issues on Jatiya Janganna, on Vishesh Raj ka Darja, on Jansankhya Nirantan Kanun. One after the other, they had issues between the alliance. Is the reason why this outbreak is coming out? And is the reason why again there will be another outbreak if, hypothetically, if an alternative government forms in Bihar, Mahagathbandhan government forms in Bihar. So very soon you'll see, and whatever that I have said right from the beginning, that eventually there will be midterm polls in Bihar.
A lot of quick and parallel developments taking place at a time when we're hearing that Nitish Kumar has now sought time to meet Sonia Gandhi. First, let me bring in my colleague Saurabh, who's in fact joining us live from Patna. Saurabh, is there any more details that you're picking up from the ground? What is the plan as far as Nitish Kumar today is concerned? And the reason that I'm asking you this is that, yes, while there are tremors as far as relationships with the BJP are concerned, but if he needs to break away from the BJP, does he have enough support to form an alliance to take on the BJP in the future? A lot of questions are also now harboring on the fact that will Lalu Prasad come on board?
See, Ridhima, today Janata Darbar is being held, but for the information of viewers, media is not allowed at all. Earlier, only 3 media houses were allowed in the Janata Darbar, but to skip the questions, as the nation wants to know how this political development is going through in Bihar. But the CM Nitish, as usual, he wants to skip all these questions, so he has not called the media today in Janata Darbar. As far as the political developments are concerned, it's absolutely confirmed that JDU has called its MLAs, MPs and MLCs for a meeting tomorrow. Also, we are learning through our sources that RJD has also called its MLAs and MLCs for a meeting for Wednesday. Though it is not officially confirmed, but we have come to know about this through our sources. Right now, if we talk about the Congress, I am at the residence of the Bihar State Congress President, Senior Leader Madan Mohan Jha. Sir, we have learned that Nitish Kumar has called up Sonia Gandhi. आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहेंगे? ये आपको किस तरह से दिख रहा है इस तरह का डेवलपमेंट?
हम लोग आप ही लोग के माध्यम से मुझे इस बात की जानकारी मिली है, जो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने हमारे नेता सोनिया गांधी से बातचीत की है, इसकी पुष्टि हमको अभी तक नहीं मिली है।
आप इसको कैसे देखते हैं? हमने अपने चैनल पे ब्रेक किया है कि ये बात सच है। अगर ऐसा हुआ है तो आप इसको किस तरह से देखते हैं बिहार की राजनीति में, कि क्या फिर से महागठबंधन की सरकार बनने वाली है?
देखिए, आप इस बात को कंफर्म करने और हम बातचीत तो चलते रहना चाहिए। मेरे हिसाब से कोई भी लाइक माइंडेड पार्टी के लोग हैं, सभी एक तरह से बीजेपी के सरकार से त्रस्त हैं, सरकार में रह के भी और बाहर रह के भी। तो मैं समझता हूँ जो आपस में संवादहीनता नहीं होनी चाहिए। पहले भी अगर नहीं हुई हो तो ये भी गलत है।
आपने बुलाया है एमएलएस को? सुनने में आया है कि आपने भी सारे एमएलएस और एमएलसीज को बुलाया है आज शाम तक।
हाँ, हमने आग्रह किया है अपने विधायकों से जो 6 बजे शाम तक पटना पहुँचने का कृपा करें। जो घटना चक्र एक बड़ी तेज़ी से बढ़ रहा है, आप लोग के माध्यम से भी देख रहे हैं, समाचार पत्रों में भी देख रहे हैं, और समाचार संकलन जो करते हैं विशेषज्ञ वो भी कह रहे हैं। तो
So multiple reactions there now coming in. We really have to see how this plays out.